Hello students, it's time for literature. My class number 5 literature book. Remember, this year we're going to be reading this. It's called A Wonder Book for Girls and Boys. And before we get into the book, we need to look at the author. So the author of the book, his name is Nathaniel Hawthorne. He was an American author, very well known. And let's see. Let's first pull out. Oh, here we go. I'm going to first pull out this sheet, right? And I'm going to go through and I'm going to help you understand what you're looking for right here. So pull out this page right here, right? Lesson number 6. This is video 6. And it says Nathaniel Hawthorne. It says he lived from 1804 to 1864, so he died when he was 60 years old. He wasn't that old. And we see Christian history, Christian influences, Christian character, and Christian contribution. Now, you're going to be looking at both. You're going to be reading some about Nathaniel Hawthorne. You're also going to be looking at a timeline of his life. Those are both included in your packets. So here is the history of Nathaniel Hawthorne. It's not very long, and then also a timeline. So the timeline gives you things that happened in his life on the right-hand side. But then on the left-hand side, it shows what's happening in history at the same time. Because we need to understand what's happening in history, because that also can influence and affect what a writer writes about and how he writes. But going back to this page right here, this is what we call a character study. We look at the Christian history of this man. So things that you can include in that are where he was born, because God actually chooses and designs where he wants people to be born for their influence during that time on earth. And so you can look at where he was born, when he was born. What else? Let's see. That's not going to be a lot. Maybe what was happening when he was born, maybe list some things that were happening, but that's his history. We're talking about not necessarily what all he did, but the Christian history looks at when he was born, what was happening when he was born. So again, the timeline is going to be really helpful there. And also the reading, because the reading actually breaks it up into his history, biblical influences, qualities of character. But with this, right? I don't mind if you use bullet points, but they have to be in your own words, okay? So when you read through, say for this here, and you read something about him, about his history, about biblical influences, like or Christian influences, who influenced him in a Christian way. Don't just copy straight word for word what came from the page. I want you to put it in your own words. I want you to express it in your own words. That way I know that you're understanding. So, Christian history, where he was born, when he was born, who his parents were, maybe some of what was going on in the world or in his nation or in his area during the time of his birth. Okay, that's what Christian history is. Now, Christian influences. Christian influences deals with who influenced him in a biblical way. It might have been his parents, his grandparents. He might have had an aunt or uncle or a brother. He might have had a teacher. He might have gone to a Christian college or university. He might have met other Christians or joined a group that gave Christian influence to him. But that's what we're looking at. That's what Christian influence deals with. Who around him influenced him in a Christian or godly manner, okay? Or a biblical manner. And he might not have that many, honestly. But he might have many. You'll have to read and see. I don't know. Now we look at Christian character. Now, this is looking at qualities of character of him. Was he honest? Was he diligent? Was he trustworthy? Was he different thing? Think about that. Qualities of character. What was his character like? Where did he show or exemplify Christian character? Again, you're going to have to search these out, because usually what happens is we see Christian character displayed in the way someone acts, or maybe the way someone speaks. Did Did he speak kindly to others? Was he known as a man who spoke kindly? So, as you read through qualities of character or Christian character on the reading, look for those things. Look for the qualities of character that were biblical or Christian from him. And then lastly, we have Christian contribution. So this is what I've been going through. Christian history, Christian influences, Christian character, and now Christian contribution. So, Christian contribution. What did he give? What did he make? What did he contribute to the world that was biblical or Christian? Was it the way what he spoke, what he wrote, what he did? Did he paint things, or did he do art that was Christian? What did he contribute? What did the Lord use him to give to the world or leave to the world that gave Christian influence? So, again, I'll go over one more time again so that we make sure we understand what you are looking for as you read. So, Christian history. Remember, this is just the history of him. Where he was born, who his parents were, where he died, and then also what else was going on in the world when he was born. Okay? So, what was happening? What influence? What else is going on? Now we look at, again, Christian influences. Who influenced him in a biblical manner? Did his dad teach him to be honest? Did his mom teach him to read the Bible? Did his teacher correct him in a manner that was biblical? So look at that. And then Christian character, that's the third one. What was his character like? Honest, dishonest, but show which ones were biblical. And then lastly, Christian contribution. What did he give? What did he make? What was his contribution to the world that was Christian? So remember, name and date, always name and date, writing in cursive, but these do not need to be in complete sentences, okay? You can use bullet points here. I don't mind if you use bullet points, but I want you to go through the reading and do the best you can. If you have questions, call me. Make sure you call me or text me. Don't wait until Friday to bring stuff in and say, well, I didn't know how to do this, or what do you do here? Make sure you get those questions asked during the week because your assignments are due on Friday. So when you bring everything in on Friday, it needs to be complete and done. Because if you haven't called me and you come in with a lot of questions, it'll be considered late because it will be late. We've got plenty of time, so you can make an appointment, come in here, and I can help you go through it. But just make sure you are communicating if you have questions. All right, so that is for this page. You're going to be looking at this right here, Nathaniel Hawthorne, 1804 to 1864. This is the reading about his life. And it's nice because this is actually broken up into his Christian history, Christian or biblical influences, Christian or quality of character, and his contribution. So honestly, this is not difficult. And then, so you'll have this for Nathaniel Hawthorne. You'll also have this right here. This is a timeline and he was known as the first American genius. He was very smart. He was a very good writer. But make sure, remember, over here on the left-hand side are things that are happening in history. Over here on the right-hand side is what is Nathaniel's history. So I'll actually go through that. I think it'll be fun. It says, number one, he was born in Salem, Massachusetts, July 4th, 1804. So he's an independence baby, right? He was born on our nation's independence. Let's see, it says, his father, a ship's captain, dies in the Far East Indies, 1808. So his father died when he was 4 years old. The family moves to Maine to live with his uncle in 1816. He attends Boyden College in Brunswick, Maine. His closest friends are Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Horatio Bridge, and Franklin Pierce. This is some other writers. He returns to Salem in 1825, writing short stories and studying New England history, 1825 to 1837. Fanshawe a Tale, he wrote in 1828. Two of his greatest tales appear, My Kinsman, Major Molinet, and Robert Malvin's Burial. So, again, if you see those and you're thinking, I wonder if those are Christian contribution, look up on the internet. Just say, okay, what were these books about? Google, what was My Kinsman, Major Molinet about? Or Young Goodman Brown. See what it's about. And then Twice Told Tales, The Mark of American Intellectual Independence from England. See what that is. He took a job as a waiter in Boston. And then you can read the second page. He also wrote one that's very well known, The Scarlet Letter. We're reading right now a wonder book for boys and girls. Let's see who else. The House of Seven Gables, that's also one that's very well known. Let's see. So, you can read the rest about him. So, make sure you read both of these because the information on your paper, I'm going to pull from these. So, make sure you're reading these. And, again, questions, let me know. Yes, I'm going with bow tie again today, as you can see. But, other than that, good luck. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later.